I'm silent.
All right, welcome to episode 22 of the Working Podcast, the long-awaited episode 22. I can tell that people have been clamoring for this episode. You know, have you ever seen that gif of Dave Chappelle kind of like scratching his neck? Yeah. That's what the people were like. So we better give them what they want. I'm your host, Yasser. You can call me Sir. And with me, I have a couple of my brothers from another mother here. I got my boy Ariel, a.k.a. The Little Mermaid, a.k.a. female Aquaman.
You can listen to Aquaman. I've never heard these affiliations before, but all right.
I got my boy Jose, a.k.a. Jose with the little accent on his E, because otherwise it's just Hose.
Jose with the ear on the E.
I got my boy Ronald, a.k.a.
Ronald Mudda.
What
about Reggie?
Reggie.
I think that's
a lot
of plans.
Reggie's too busy being a plug right now.
Word.
He's dropping Travis Scott's right now.
He's too busy being a plug right now.
I got my boy Carlos in the house.
Yeah.
Saying something to the people. And a very special guest, I got my boy Benny, a.k.a. Bennessy, a.k.a. Ben the Good of the Kick Up Cruise. Say what's up to the people.
Sorry, that's probably my dog's here. What's up?
Oh, you're part of the crew? I didn't even know.
What up? Thank you for showing up, man.
Yo, So first of all, thank you all for showing up. We got officially the podcasting Avengers right now, even though we can't talk about the movie at all because these two haven't watched it.
Real quick, can I make a comic book joke?
Yes.
Somebody told me that Batman's superhero power is white privilege.
Oh wow! That's not fair.
I don't mean anything by it. It's just funny. It's just funny.
Let's keep it a bug. Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
So actually, we're recording this the day before Mother's Day. So shout out to all your moms. I don't know what you have planned for that,
moms.
but just
Shout out
keeping
to
in context with the time of us recording. Speaking of which, well, that's not even a segue, but Betty, you're in the medical field, right? That's where you're working right now.
What?
Yeah. So I think I saw earlier this week that it was nursing week.
Yes,
Is it still lit?
Yeah, it's still nursing week until Monday. So
I bet so. So shout out to all the nurses one time. I know that
Holding it down, doing more work than doctors half the time.
facts.
2 times the work for half the paycheck.
So for the friends of the show, do we have any shout outs to get out of the way real quick?
So shout out to Kanye West because he's the inspiration for my latest beat that I'm working on. Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasies, Kanye. My favorite Kanye. And that's it. I like Kanye.
That was a rough Kanye.
That was an awesome Kanye.
No, it was great.
He's the
It's
greatest
just,
Kanye.
I like this new Kanye. I'm not really feeling, but it's
What do you mean?
Well, I don't think a lot of people are feeling it.
What's wrong with this Kanye?
I mean, I personally still love Kanye, regardless of all his weird politics stuff.
I mean, he's growing.
You think the cameras?
That's
What was that?
It's a real thing. It's a real thing. Whatever happened to what's the name?
Chris Humphrey? He died.
I'm pretty sure.
All right.
Reggie Bush.
You'll see him in the big three. No, I don't know if he's in the big three. I don't know if he signed up. Shout out to Ice Cube. Shout out to the. I don't know if he's still or she. That one listener in Japan.
We stay big in Japan.
We shouting them out too much. Shout out America.
They're gonna start flagging our episodes.
Word. All right,
wait, real quick. Do we want to do intros for these new homies that are joining us? Like who you guys are? Real quick background story since we don't know. Listeners don't know who they are.
So for context, I don't know how all of you guys know each other well, aside from y'all two, but I think I know Carlos through Jose.
Yeah.
I don't ever remember the first time I ever meet someone. So
yeah, actually, that's a good one. I don't think I remember that unless it's like a lasting impression. we were in, we probably had a class together.
Where?
We had a class together. I think.
class?
I don't know.
See?
I feel like
It was like a health class or something.
I feel like
totally
it's the health
unrelated.
class where like
That was almost a decade ago.
Right? Yeah.
Wait, what grammar school did you guys go to?
28.
Same.
Number 6.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
All three of us, me, Ariel, and Carlos, went to 28 school.
did y'all see each other there?
I saw Jose, but not Carlos.
Carlos
I was
is-
a year older than.
Yeah.
Carlos is the big
You
homie.
still see, like, you know.
Yeah, but like,
No, wait, you're right. You're right.
Word.
So you were a cool guy, basically.
definitely not. Nah, I definitely wasn't one of those guys. I wish. I would have nice.
You know what's crazy? If I had known you when I was in those grades, I'd be like, that's my friend. Like I'd go back and be like, yo, I'd be your friend, man. F all these other people.
Exactly.
These damn bullies.
Yeah. So I think I know Benny only from Dickinson, but you happen to know a lot of people that I happen to know. Shout out to Andrew. You know Andrew.
Call him Teddy Santos. DJ
Teddy Santos. I was gonna just
Whatever you
What a name.
call him.
yeah. Did you meet him at number 6?
I knew Andrew since he came off the boat, my nigga.
Word.
It's been that long, bro. When he came off the banana boat, was the first one to embrace him.
Yeah, because I think I was like in 3rd grade with him. Yeah.
Welcome to America.
I thought his name was Philip until like.
Word?
I swear to God.
Damn.
Like I forgot like class or some shit. I don't even remember.
Did you call him Philip?
Nah, I never did. We called him Teddy because he had big ass titties. He's like, oh, he's
Jesus.
You're part of the problem, kid.
He looked like a Philip.
Philip. I thought his name was Philip. Until, like, I found out.
And I think you knew Jeffrey too, right?
Yeah.
But was that in high school or before
And
that?
I knew Jeff before that too. I knew him, I think number 6 though. Because I'm friends with all, you know, Andy. I don't know if you know Andy and
Yeah.
Chan, all of them. So.
Yeah. So I think I actually met you probably at Dickinson Gym, probably.
Probably.
Yeah, we had. I think we had like Piccolo or something, or one of those. One of those gym teachers. Yeah. Used to play like T-ball. I was gonna say T-ball. Two-ball. I'm sorry to say two-ball. What was it? He was always with that group with Perrin and I forget.
Oh, the top word. They called themselves something from Lord of the Rings.
A word?
It was like Perrin used to call y'all the Spire or something like that.
The
head goes down.
From like Hitler's regime. Or some
Yeah.
shit.
Oh,
shit.
I kind of remember it now.
It's so funny.
Jesus.
Exactly what it's called.
So
Hail
funny. It was AP history.
That's pretty
We were in high school though. Nobody's looking at MySpace posts right now, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so just for context, I don't think we've never met outside of school, right?
Y'all never hung out?
No,
That's a lie.
never. Really?
That is a lie.
Is
I think
it?
that's a bold-faced lie. I feel like we met at Jose's house like a few times.
That's
Did
possible.
we?
That's
I mean,
That's
Jose's
possible.
house used to be the hangout spot.
Yeah, it used to be the hangout
in high
spot.
school.
We did.
good memories went down to that house.
So,
Bad memories, dude.
The
so
lot.
yeah, so
I'm kind of offended you don't remember chilling with me.
nah, see, because
Here we go.
no, I was considered you too cool to hang out with me, so that's kind of why,
Me?
like, yeah,
You see me?
I see you, but.
You know what I meant.
Anyways, but that's why I think you're a perfect guest to have on.
I mean, it doesn't help that you dripping on the feet. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
peeping
yeah,
that too.
oh, let's get the
Nah,
foot,
don't
the
ever-
foot
don't ever say sorry.
cam. The foot cam. So, thank you for coming. Welcome back anytime, Carlos. You was a late scratching, but you know we've been trying to get you on the show for a hot minute.
I
Yeah.
work for a federal agency, you know.
Can you say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you allowed?
That's about it, though.
All our cameras just turned
That's
off.
about it. Federal agency who likes to throw away water and shit. But,
Oh my god.
man was trying to hold me down from
That's a
coming
lot.
in, so
Yeah, but
here now.
shout out shout out to Carlos one time. Like I saw him on the security footage, and I thought he was my landlord, and I was like, "Wait, what does he want?" And then everybody, be quiet.
Pretend we're not here.
No, yeah, that as we had loud ass music play. We was like, "Ooh, he coming for us."
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, yo, let's go. He changed out of his uniform. Now he cool as hell, dripping.
I was not staying on camera.
Yeah, so thank you, Carlos, for coming. And to the usual Avengers, thank you for coming.
Yeah, the core
shout out to
Ronald.
Ronald one time. And shout out to Steven one time who's out there, making that paper.
Ask a question real quick. I'm sorry.
Sure.
Who's which Avenger?
Are we gonna do that right
That's
now?
a good
This is
question.
like playing Monopoly. This is like playing Monopoly, bro. Like,
There's more Avengers.
can you choose? All right, can we choose? Can we like choose what Avenger we want to be, and then just by elimination, like you just have to choose the remaining ones?
That's foul.
Round table, no, because like that's fair.
Thanos.
I guess.
I picked Thanos.
Don't count.
What's your favorite Outcast verse?
I like Hey Ya because it's like sweet, sultry poetry
Word.
that makes you feel totally different than what the words are actually saying,
Word.
and it's a masterful piece of art.
Yeah. What's cool than being cool?
Ice cold.
Hey. So who's who then? We
I
gotta settle this.
was trying to segue out of that.
I mean, we can fight over there. Like,
I was trying to segue
Well,
out of that.
I really enjoyed Bombs Over Baghdad, but
Oh, thank you.
oh, so you're the guy with the wings, right?
Yeah, you guys agree that Andre has the best features?
always.
Andre 3000 has the best features?
Oh, so that means War Machine. Okay, because bombs, right?
Government bombs. All right.
This is why I bought my ticket early.
Your roadie.
Government and bombs. Okay,
Real quick, let me just trash Vision. Vision came through and was supposed to be the key to the saving the universe, and all he did was break Rhodey's legs.
Yeah,
and lift up.
And see,
Are we getting some spoilers right now?
hey,
oh,
hello.
that was from the last movie.
Watch it.
Did you watch it? Did you watch the last movie?
Did you see
Benny
Infinity
gave
War?
me that side eye, and I was just like,
They didn't see the last 22 movies.
You just saw Iron
Y'all
Man.
remember that Throw Some D's remix? Where Andre had the first verse on that Throw Some D's remix?
Oh yeah! Oh my god, masterful
What do you
verse.
think Andre's best feature is? Because I already know mine on the top of my head.
I'll say yours because you didn't have the verse before.
International Players Anthem.
That's up there. That's up there.
Really? That's not your favorite?
Not from Andre.
Wow.
Not from Andre.
That's disrespectful.
That
Not like
Anderson
this.
Paak song.
I like Andre's verse on Pink Matter. I think that's that Frank
That's
Ocean
dope,
song.
That's dope.
That's not his first. That's not it either. Wow.
You need to dig a little deeper.
How did
Not
try?
Isn't that?
Oh, that John Legend, that Green Light.
No. Oh, you go.
Yes, the Green Light verse.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I fuck with that.
the Green Light verse.
Yeah.
Got you on behind the piano.
Deuces.
On Rick Ross is 16.
Yup. Bars.
His.
Bars.
If you listen to it, you sit there and like.
And he was
dissect it.
that was the last person I was expecting on the track with Rick Ross.
Exactly. I think it's what made it better. You got the nerdy guy and then the gangster just like. It's kind of going at it. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
What's the next topic?
It's like, it's fucking segue. Like,
We're rolling.
Just playing it safe.
so, out of curiosity, because like I put out a thing on the Insta story, like, yo, who trying to be on the podcast, and you know,
Oh, word?
Benny, yeah. He was like, about to come through. Let's go. Let's do this.
Hey.
Just out of curiosity, like, you know, what made you want to be part of it?
When you agreed, did you see what was already put out from the
I've
podcast?
seen like one episode or two. I'm not gonna lie.
Like before,
Oh, no, yeah, that's-
before this launch, you seen like clips or something, or are you saying like just recently,
What do you
like episode 21 clips?
Yeah,
or
like the recent
all
clips.
right,
Yeah, the most recent one.
I was about to
I didn't know
say.
he had a podcast before that.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I don't know. I always want to do a podcast. I'm watching Joe Budden's podcast.
Yeah, fucks with that, yeah.
Why do they ruin a bunch of other stuff?
See how it is to sit around with your boys and just fucking laugh.
Exactly,
Sit and
exactly.
talk.
Which is what you do anyways. You
Yeah.
just don't record
Yeah.
it.
Exactly, yeah. So
Not all the time. You feel me? People sit around usually on their phones or they're just fucking drinking. Like, this is different.
Yeah.
This is, like, really,
I wouldn't mind.
exactly
That.
that.
that's
That's
a whole different vibe from just sitting around with your boys on the couch.
yeah. That's one of the things I told Jose is like, this is like the perfect excuse to sit down and actually have a conversation, because otherwise, you know, let's say you're going to like a party or something, and it's funny because recently I went to Ariel's housewarming party, and I had talked to anybody there. Like I went to his living room and just like stared at the screen, but like. But yeah, like But that was kind of a different situation because I know anybody there except for Steven. But, you know, just having a venue like this to be able to just sit down and talk and not be distracted by other stuff, even though...
it makes it easier too, especially because there's like friendly faces. Like, you don't really have to work on like building a rapport or anything.
Yeah. And that's what I just want to keep on doing, just keep building and just keep bringing just random faces in, or even the same faces, like, yo, whenever y'all are free, like, you know...
You're gonna be like Tom Segura on Joe Rogan.
Yeah, yo, he's like on like 60 episodes.
That's the homie.
Yeah. But yeah, so let's see. I wanted to transition into...
Oh, we got like topics you want to cover?
I just jotted down a few things only because I
Jotted
knew
down my
that...
ass. I see like a whole fucking report.
No, well, some of them are like...
This turned up to a book club.
No, yeah, some of them are just like thoughts that I wrote down and just like generally. So let's see. I want to mention, since obviously is
We gotta do a whole music episode. I just want to talk about music shit.
word.
Sorry.
I did want to cover just briefly. I'm not gonna get too deep into your work, but just for context. Prior to this podcast, I probably have only seen Benny by coincidence when my parents were sick, because he happens to work at the same hospital. And I was just wondering, because I'm sure those are long hours and you probably see a lot of shit there. I was wondering if there was anything that stood out to you from the time that you started there.
Oh man, you see a lot of freaky shit. A lot of freaky shit, like zesty shit you don't want to see.
Zesty shit?
Zesty shit.
Wait, speaking of, like, is this something that you feel like you should be answering, or is this
I
kind
can
of like?
definitely answer. Just don't snitch on me, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, no,
that's what
no.
I'm saying.
As long as you don't say names, it's
Yeah,
not
you
a
could
HIPAA
say-
violation. or anything
Somebody
like
gonna see this, but like, damn, yo, he blew it up on the spot. Like, it wasn't my fault. I should have known myself.
There's people that's coming in like with cats on their penises and stuff like that. Like, it's just weird.
Cats?
Like, yeah, people fuck their cats and they
What?
fucking their cat.
That's
That
I've
disgusting.
never seen. That was home.
That's
real.
wild.
That's,
I would've-
Happens.
That
Wow.
person is in our
Alright.
vicinity. That's wild.
Wow.
Have you ever had like a
told you
patient
transplants.
who couldn't really tell you, like they really
Wow.
didn't want to tell you what they did. They just want to tell
They
you
do
what
that all
hurt.
the time. They lie.
Like
But
yeah,
every
yeah,
time I report,
like every time I sit down, it hurt, but like there's nothing up there. And then you do an X-ray and the fucking matchbox.
Yeah.
You got a toy fire truck.
That happened to me, a couple weeks ago. I had a guy come in. He had he had hemorrhoids. He said he wasn't doing anything, but they found like a huge like dildo up his butt.
That sucks, man.
He had like a crazy like rectal bleed, and it was like
That sucks.
Oh.
He was like, "What's
just
doing?"
got-
He's like,
I said, "My butt just
He
itches."
said, this is what he said.
My
He said he
butt
had
just itches.
what's that called? Debate, whatever.
Oh,
A bidet?
Bidet.
Yeah.
Bidet.
Always getting freaky with a bidet.
Yeah, that's what he said though. He said that hemorrhoids.
See, it's just for hygienic purposes. What's wrong with you people?
It made it so strong that it popped the hemorrhoid.
Oh, what's wrong with you people? It's just hygienic. That's it.
And he's like just wild casual
He
about
said I
it.
got crabs from the toilet seat. Yeah, okay.
Actually playing with like pink dildos in his butt. So that's
That sucks though. Like, he's just trying to do his thing, and then he has to go to the hospital. I'm like, that sucks.
You can't get too freaky.
I'd hate to be in that situation.
You gotta get like a little freaky. It's not.
There's levels to freedom.
Yeah.
Nah, you just gotta be safe.
You just gotta be
You
safe.
just gotta be
Yeah.
safe.
Yeah, I think
What are the most
attach your
hygienic
rope
products
to it
that
or something.
you gotta be safe?
You pull it back out.
Like the stories that you would tell, or similar to the stories I would tell, people probably wouldn't believe half the stuff you say. It's just like the.
So
like
out of
last
this
week, I
world.
had some guy try to come into the airport with 2 guns and 2 extendo clips, and it's like,
Or like it was okay.
was
where you
it
going?
was it Julian Santana?
Like,
Carry
carry
on.
on.
that's a whole other story. But where you going, my guy?
Carry on.
Just walk through like TSA or something like.
Yo, he
like,
put his bag through the X-ray, and that's what we see on the screen. And he's standing there like,
He's like, what?
oh, I got a bottle of water in my bag. My bad. Mind you, he did. He
was
did have
duty
a
free
bottle of
water?
water.
Duty free. What was his response?
He was like, oh, I didn't know. I knew that.
Where's he from? Let me ask you that
Oh well,
question.
yeah, I guess
Yo.
that. Wait, first
I don't
off,
think it's legal
fir-
anywhere, but
first
I-
off,
I
first
can't
off,
tell you that.
First off, if he's in Jersey, he shouldn't be walking around with those guns anyways.
Facts.
If he came from somewhere else, how did he come from somewhere else with those guns?
Word.
we're still trying to figure out because once it gets past us at that specific point,
It's
we
like-
don't really get any more information on it.
That's feds. Damn.
Well, no, it's a local law enforcement.
Oh, okay.
But like, we didn't get any more information out of it. But still, it's
You're
like,
probably
where
better
were you going? Like, where did you think you were going with all
That
that?
was
He
wild.
was trying to go on a mission, bro.
We had the mission.
You gotta have fun editing this
Take it
with a
fine.
bunch of bleeps.
Nah, we good. We good.
Oh, can I not curse?
No,
No,
you
yeah,
curse.
no,
No,
yeah.
that's not the beep.
This is an
yeah, that's
adult
not the beep I was
podcast.
talking about.
We're adults.
I was about to say, 'cause
Sorry, guys. Keep it
Nah,
real.
Once we talked
me.
about like rectal bleeding, like that,
we good, right? I gotta change the ring on
It's
this one.
not going back.
I think we've hit peak grossness already. So
I mean, technically just introed, bitch. I'm silent like this. So I think
actually,
you're
I
fine.
didn't,
Oh, okay.
because that was before the intro.
Damn secret.
Also, that was like an intro that we've all been told.
yeah. Thanks.
Watch the behind the scenes.
He was not getting that. So, one of the friends from the show has a question for Benny specifically.
Hey,
And
exclusive.
Oh, shit.
they chose to be anonymous.
Anonymous.
Nah, no
Yeah,
such
yeah.
one.
Can you tell us afterwards?
Are you single?
Yeah,
Yeah, we can
So-
cover this in the green room.
yeah. So is your name actually Benny, or is it short for Bernard or something?
I had a class with Benny, so maybe even funnier. It's a good.
Word.
My government name is actually Benny.
Yo,
Word.
Nickname.
That's a
I
good
was like, yo, why the teacher lying? That's not your name.
Oh my god.
What's on your social?
Benny because they think my name was like Benjamin.
Oh,
They
okay.
call me Benjamin.
I like Benjamin. That's not hard.
Okay, that's the thing about it.
Oh,
Bartholomew.
Where's that question, by the way? I'm curious. What's
Nah,
the
you
real
can't.
name?
It's anonymous.
good.
You can't.
What's the real name?
it's a lot of his.
You good?
It's a lot of his.
I think it was you.
Oh.
It's
You also just said it out loud.
So, you recently went to Houston, right?
Yes.
Did you ride any horses out there?
The dirty.
I did not. I did not.
Did you
Well,
see
was
horses?
you out there?
Is that a
early?
thing?
Houston's more city, man.
I was about to say,
It's like a
Houston's like
metroplex.
That's like
Metropolis.
downtown Jersey City. Like,
Word?
Yeah.
like exactly like downtown Jersey City.
Yeah.
They're building condos left and right the same way like downtown Jersey City.
Yeah.
It's just on a bigger scale because it's like, it's more space, obviously. It's Texas, but it's the same exact. There's bars
Yeah.
outside. Like,
Yeah.
it's like a city environment, but a little slower. Not like New York City. 'Cause New York City's wild.
Austin.
Oh, you can tell it's slower.
It's a lot slower. Like, even in downtown.
Is it like the way that people talk, or like just the pace of
The
people?
pace of life.
Lifestyle.
Everybody walks slow. Like, this
That's so interesting.
One way traffic. There's no traffic. You know what I mean? It's like one way. Everything's one way.
I need to witness that because I've lived here all my life and I haven't really experienced like the South. I mean, I went to Miami, but I don't feel like
That's
that
a different
even
kind of
count,
South.
really?
That's a different kind of
That's a
South.
different
yeah. So I feel like, like, do you guys have any destinations on the list or that you guys planning on going to this summer?
I'm trying to go to Japan. Sometime
Word.
within next year.
Yeah, me too.
About to get real expensive.
But it's been, I've been saying this for a while.
Don't
I'm not even gonna I've been saying this for a minute. I'm really trying to. It is. I'm leaving my son at home now. Here you go.
Sharon, I don't know if y'all know, Sharon got accepted to this master's program in London.
Hey,
To study international.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Shout out one time.
So she's doing her thing, and she's gonna be leaving in like August or
Are you
something.
going with her?
Well, my company has an office in London,
Hey.
so I pitched it to my boss yesterday. He was like, "That's not totally out of the question. Let's set up a meeting and talk about it."
That's
so
dope.
I might be moving for a year.
Congratulations.
Maybe.
Like that.
At least he didn't give you like, nah.
Yeah.
He was
Honestly,
open to it.
honestly, if he would have said nah, then I would have been like, all right, cool. So then like, I'll just plan around this now.
Walk take
So
vacation.
at least I don't have to
Yeah,
think
you'll
about.
know where my vacation goes in.
At least I don't have to think about it. Now I could just
Like,
be
when
like,
he
all
asked you
right.
the question, did he give you the struggle? Like, no, that's not out of the question.
No, he said it was. He said it was.
Did he do the point after that?
No.
Because that, no.
Because I can answer your question. Like, how did he do it?
I mean, he's a very like he's a tech dude and he's super freaking smart and he's never really wants to put all his cards on the table. So like his response was
Right,
like his
right,
response to anything. Just be like, yeah, sure, why not? Let's talk about it. You know, like
And that meeting might not ever happen. Kind of thing.
nah, well I gotta set it up. Either way, he's the best boss I ever had. So
That's cool.
Lit.
best boss I ever had.
So let's see.
No shade.
So Benny, you're into basketball, right?
Love basketball, man. Let's go Nets. I mean,
Chill.
you know what happens.
Yeah.
You know what?
Ronald, as our resident basketball expert, do you want to respond to that?
I
Yeah.
don't think he wants to debate when it comes to the Knicks and the Nets right now because we obviously know who's the king of New York.
Let's just wait till what's the
This is
3 days
Avengers
lottery?
Civil War right here.
I mean, yeah, can fight.
Yeah, right now it's the Infinity War because in 3 days is the draft lottery and then
You know what? The best case scenario
That's around the corner.
is that the Knicks get Zion, KD, and Kyrie.
I
But even in that case,
want Kyrie
Yeah,
to
they
be on
still
the
might
East
be
Coast.
trash after
they
that.
still might be trash.
See, this is where I'm
crazy.
different from the other fans. I just want like continued success and don't mess it up. And like, cause there's like a running trend where basically they trade away players and then they become successful in other
Well, how
teams.
can you do that? You can't
Listen,
keep a
I don't
player for
know.
more than like 5 years.
As
Except
long
for
as you
Melo.
get James
Melo's
Dolan,
like 5 years.
as long as Dolan just keeps singing and like lets the basketball people do what they're good at, and kind of separate his interest from it and don't react too hard. The KP thing hurt me a little, but then he didn't want to come back, so that's where it's like, all right,
Oh, Porzingis.
yeah, but so
Yeah.
that was actually a smart move, even though people hate it, but that's a smart
What
move.
you got that again? I forgot. What you get?
Future first round picks, DSJ.
Okay, I guess. I don't know.
Is that a close?
It's something rather than nothing.
Is that
that's
an
Expansion of the stadium.
You got some E&J.
It's something rather than
Some
nothing, and it's better than paying Jerome James like $20 million or Eddie Curry like multiple millions.
That's exactly how I feel about my football team because like they just.
Are you a Giants
Yeah,
fan?
there's-
See, just by saying that.
See,
I feel like the New York fans are suffering this year.
Yo, that's a rough thing to do.
Wait till 3 days.
Jets and the
Wait
Nets.
How are you gonna
And
let
the
the
Yankees are
Buffalo
trash.
Bills be the
Yankees
best
are trash,
football
yeah.
team in New York and they're the only ones who play in New York technically speaking? They're gonna be
Oh, Buffalo Bills?
Yeah.
They're not best in New York. The Jets are.
just gonna be trash.
Yeah.
Just as trash.
Nobody believes that.
Yo.
Nobody believes that. I'm going on
Yo.
record right now. We're on a podcast, guys.
On
I
record.
never said this. I said this. Jets going 11.
What?
That's good.
They're going in
That's
double
high.
digits?
That's high.
This is
That's
the
high.
hubris of New York fans. That's why I don't subscribe to it.
We're walking here. We're gonna win because we're walking. That's it.
Wow, 11
I
wins.
like Super Bowl. I'm not going that far. I'm not even like.
If they make playoffs, I'd be happy.
Now we're going to the playoffs 100%.
Yo, if y'all make it to the double digits,
If they give you a reason to watch to the playoffs, I'd be happy.
10-6 the least.
So this is why it's also
That's a
good to have a
bold
sports team
prediction.
outside of your city.
Also true.
It's like
Wait,
the baseline. Like I'm a fan of the Ravens, so that's why like that's my neutral team where it's like, all right, I
Neutral
can get away
team.
from the New York State.
Yo, wait, I like Bengals because their uniform colors are dope.
that's also another reason why you could Jaguars too.
Ravens uniforms though too.
Seahawks. I like the colors. I don't even like the colors. Yeah.
Yeah, you know the colors make them more aerodynamic and stuff.
Yeah.
I just
I
play
think they
plus
run
two
faster
catch
too.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
get more aerodynamic.
And one of my uncle actually brought up a very valid point about New York. And
Is that the Yankees are trash, right?
no,
Oh, okay.
it's like
Proceed.
you can only buy a team. First of all, that was
Yeah.
one of the things that he
Oh,
Second of all, he brought up the fact that the Giants will never draft an African American quarterback.
Oh yeah, they proved that this year.
And like, yo, my man's was on the board.
Yeah.
Dwayne Haskins was on the board.
are you talking
Look
about
at
the dude that
job.
got picked at number 2?
Huh?
Nah, he got picked in like number 6.
Yeah, picked like
Oh,
late.
damn.
No, dude, Wayne Haskins got picked later.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
11,
but he was on the
12,
board
some
though.
shit. He was on the
I-
board, yeah.
Yo,
Damn.
who plays at Duke? Are they even a D1 school? Like,
Zion,
Zion's for the ball.
Basketball.
I don't care. The hookup.
like,
By association.
and then I'm watching him on the field. I'm watching him doing warms. He looks like Eli all over again.
Yeah.
They like that.
He's
like
the
that
same
Alzheimer's
person.
look.
He's the same person.
Whoa.
I love that look.
It's like, yo, you set
They
us
love
up for
that
failure
look.
one more time. Listen, why not? Why not?
That sounds about right.
Clap it up for the losing record of the Giants for the next preseason.
Damn. With
So-
that attitude,
Sorry.
yeah, they're gonna fucking. They need support from the fans, bro.
Support for what?
If I was losing,
Yeah,
bro,
screwed over
if
the
I was,
fans the way
if,
you say
if
it.
Like,
I was,
I'm done supporting y'all.
if I was running an organization and we were losing time after time, I'd be like, come on, guys, how are they
Alright,
supposed
alright.
to play
If
if,
you're
y'all
running-
don't even want to
yeah,
watch
they're
it?
shitting on the fans.
All right, yeah. If you're running an organization,
I didn't
if you're
know
running an
that.
organization,
You're the opposite of. Like you want their support still. Like
if you're legitimately running an organization and you see that the common trait that your quarterback is doing terrible, but everybody else around him is doing amazing.
Doing all right, yeah.
why are you going to take people away from everybody else and keep that dinosaur quarterback?
Also, being an owner is different from being the president of basketball or football operations, where it's like you're an owner who came in and bought the franchise or part of a committee that bought in.
Yeah.
You've made millions and much more money not doing this thing that you just invested in. So even if that does fail, you're already successful on your other venture that you can continue to do.
Most of them don't care because it's.
So then it becomes like a
money is money.
It's
and
money.
that's where
They
it's
don't
like,
even
for
know.
example,
But at the same time, they're about to lose money because your ticket sales are going to drop.
Yeah, that's also true.
Like, it's bad when you can sit here and go on record and go on live television and tell people that my grandson doesn't talk to me because I traded Odell Beckham Jr.
Dang.
Like, for you to say that out loud on television, people are gonna hold that against you for the rest of your life.
Wait, hold on. Can we just go into how much of an existential question that is? At the fact that he's just like just talking about trading a human being for a kid's game that people are getting paid billions of dollars, and your son's mad at you for that? Like, he's mad about that?
Yeah.
Sorry. Anyways,
we're trading on grown men like killing each other on the field.
Yo, fantasy football is the most amazing thing in the world, though.
that's crazy. That's crazy.
How many times, like, can you legitimately say, you can legitimately say that you've been playing fantasy football and you be like, damn, I hope he tears his ACL.
You know,
I swear on everything.
I did not say those words, but I did say
his timeline is
no.
weird.
I've won. Check the records.
I've won too.
I've won.
Oh, we know that. I still have proof of that you won. I still have that picture.
Exactly.
I love that.
I've just probably prayed for unfavorable results. It doesn't mean hurt. Just like strain and I'm out this game. I'm
Just
good.
come back halftime.
Like, damn, I hope they cancel Game of Thrones. That way everybody on the field's depressed.
Be like Kevin Love in the press conference. I'm just trying to watch
There's
Game of
been plenty of
Thrones.
times where you see somebody limping off the field, it's like,
That's crazy.
let's go. You know exactly what it is.
That's crazy.
2 minutes later, like 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. Julio Jones.
That's exactly how.
Because
Anyway,
are you those fans on like social media where like as soon as something happens you clap back on them, like a bad play happens?
Absolutely not.
it's weird.
Oh, you are? Oh, you
You live trash talk?
They get paid way too much money for that.
Live
okay.
tweet,
I
live
don't
trash
get paid
talk.
nothing to say something, dude.
Because there are those people
Like,
where
I'm not
like,
getting nothing from this, so nah.
yeah, because that's a different level of fandom where like you're just like you're fully dedicated and it's just you and a TV screen and the sport. And you're there.
How did you not catch that?
And then you simulcast to like all these like different platforms. That's too much work, and also that's why you're doing it to yourself.
That's like me telling Leonard Fournette after he was out for like 4 games straight. Why the hell did you come back, yo? I needed you there. Like, you was my starting running back right now. Like,
Yeah.
That made no sense.
Yeah. So like I had brought up the sports question or the basketball question initially just to like bring it up, but I actually wanted to get a little bit more meta considering some of the things that we just said. I was wondering, for those of you that like sports, what is it that really draws you to it? And first, I guess start with
So sports as an activity?
yeah, or
as like
as a spectator.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's two different
It's
things.
definitely a conversation piece. I feel like you can sit in the break room all day,
Yeah.
and if you're in a break room with 20 other dudes,
Yeah.
16 of those dudes are talking about sports.
Yeah. There's a good chance.
Definitely don't want to feel left out. Like, whether you like it or not. You
Oh, that's interesting.
It's like modern day gladiators.
Exactly.
You know what I
I
mean?
say the brutality of it is just amazing.
Yeah,
I
you're
love
like,
that shit.
it's arena stuff.
The
Yeah, what-
competition and the fact that you don't know what's gonna happen next. You know what I mean? That's what makes sports popular.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like one of the few, at least as far as entertainment goes, one of the pieces of media that has to be consumed live because it's one of those things where, you know, it's not as valuable to watch last week's Nets game, for example. Like,
Yeah, there's no hype in that.
yeah,
0%.
yeah. And so it's interesting, like,
Can you imagine? I was watching last week's game.
at that point when you bring it up, it's just like, okay, like,
Blues man is just
yeah, like, you know, they had a game yesterday, right?
Yeah.
But I was just curious, like, so you think like the competition aspect you mentioned, it being just a good conversation
social
piece.
aspect, yeah.
But I'm assuming like you probably wouldn't put yourself through all of that just for the conversation, right? Like, do you?
You mean like
Or
playing at a
what
professional
would you say?
level?
Like, what's that?
Because sometimes like depending on the news and depending on the organization, like the sport can be the surface of the conversation, but depending on like the organization, say for example, like the NBA, they're really good at like bringing up social topics and infusing it and empowering their players.
How do you feel when things like that happen? Do you feel like these players should just play, or do you think those other issues?
No, I mean they have a voice and they have a platform, and you forget that even though they're like most of them came from like urban areas, low-income areas. Yeah. They are rags to riches stories, and now they're trying to grow themselves into multi-millionaire businesses. Mm-hmm. They are business.
So you think they should have a voice? They shouldn't just be like these things that we see running on our screen.
Of course, like there's.
Well, I don't want to assume.
I mean, because at the end of the day, they're still people. They just
exactly. They're still people, and sports is just the platform.
Like there's definitely a lot of people who just go in for the check.
Yeah, there are those people too.
Oh hell yeah! If you're gonna hand me $25 million for 5 years, so that means you're handing me $5 million a year.
Just give me
to do something that I already do well. Why not? I would never talk to a media.
I'm gonna do it.
I'm over here.
Even if I score the winning touchdown, I'm
gonna do it. Carlos, you heard it here first. Benny's gonna do it.
Guys, I'm gonna do it.
Cashing my checks.
Well, I think the wording of that is interesting because you said something you already do well. So one of the things that I kind of wanted to segue into is the natural abilities of some of these players, and like how much do you think plays into a role, like how much hard work they do versus like just their raw natural ability?
Don't get it messed up. These guys are super athletic. They gotta put like
they have to put in the work in.
12 hours.
Just like it's not even like it's not even professional like athletes. Just like if you have a friend who's a college athlete, look at their schedule and see how hard they work.
And they go to Dino Hall to eat.
Yeah, exactly. And they balance their grades, and some of them have like double majors, masters. Mm-hmm. Just look at college athletes first, and they don't even get paid, and that's another situation.
Yeah, that's like podcast. Yeah,
and then once they make it to professional, that's where like they come in the spotlight. But
and unfortunately, not all of them make it to be professionals, even with all the hard work.
Well, they kind of do. They just go international. Like
if someone will make it, I think he mean like here.
Like we're not talking about them.
Yeah. There's different professional leagues. It's not just the NFL. You know, it's the AFL.
To piggyback off what you said, look at Ryan Fitzpatrick. He graduated from Harvard with, I think, a degree in physics. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Hey, that's why he's a freaking tank. That's why he's a train.
He's a genius, but he can't throw a fucking ball more than 40 yards.
You're just mad because he couldn't do it on your team.
You want me points?
More than 40 yards.
That's a bitter Jets fan right there.
So you got the trajectory of football.
Yeah, it's definitely a bitter Jets fan.
Yeah, like sports, like the natural ability is just the surface area of the conversation. It's like there's a lot of behind the scenes work that you don't get to see, but because the way this country works, like you have to promote what makes money first, so you don't get to see this behind the scenes.
Yeah, I think an article came out. I don't know if any of you guys ever read it, but it gave kind of an inside look on the work ethic of Kobe Bryant and the type of stuff that he does, just before games, and it's almost a maniacal level of training, but when you see,
wasn't Vince Carter like that too?
You see the results, though.
Well, Kobe's different.
I don't know.
Kobe like 3 in the morning.
I heard
at 4.
Yeah,
it was like 7 to take an hour break to eat. To go back from like 8 to 12.
Yeah, I don't think
an hour. Damn. And then work again from like fucking 1 to like 7 again.
And then play the game.
You know what I mean?
And
like that's nuts. Like
there's small stories. Like I heard he never played piano before, but he wanted to play. I think Moonlight Sonata.
We're still talking about Kobe.
Yeah, for his wife.
Kobe's the man.
And he like on the side of doing all that other stuff, played it by ear, and like memorized it and was able to play for his wife.
Damn, Kobe.
You know he's smart. He's fluent in like 4 languages.
He's different.
Actually. Like,
oh, word?
Yeah, he knows like Italian.
Mamba? Yeah, I know he's all this crazy
He grew up in Italy.
Yeah.
And then
he grew up in Italy?
Yeah, when he was younger. So like he's a different monster.
That's dope.
When it comes to
so it's like
dedication.
I mean, obviously
well culture. We just see the Kobe on TV giving niggas 30.
Dropping 80 before they leave.
Yeah, we don't see that.
Yeah, you see him now promoting the book, whatever he's doing. But he's different.
And so that's the thing, right? Like obviously he's an outlier. Not every player's like Kobe, but you can see someone like him, and there's no way somebody's gonna tell him, "Oh yeah, like you were born tall, like that's why you're good." You know, the type of work that he puts in is bar none.
Like you definitely can't teach height. You can't teach that. But in all actuality,
Can't
Look
take
at Andrew Bogut. Like he looks like the coach of the Sun.
Yeah, think
Quite
Pippen.
frankly. He's 7'2", like
Yeah,
you
you
can't
know,
teach
I
that.
told people that did nothing with their height.
Wait, what's
I'm
that?
gonna name one.
Oh,
I
here
love
goes.
you, guy. My guy Ramen. Okay.
Oh.
My guy Ramen. Wow.
Hey.
I'm not
Why you got out of like that? He's just being him.
Oh, you talking about the kid from
about
high
Ramen.
school? Oh
Remember
shit.
that
6'5"
when he did the wing challenge?
Yeah.
Oh, you were there?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Wait, what challenge?
The 9/11 Clucky
At
challenge.
cluck you?
Yo, I think he rubbed his face.
I think he threw up in his nose.
He
like,
rubbed
I've
his
never seen
face?
that before.
He threw up in his.
He was
Yeah,
dying.
he just-
Came out. I was like,
He was dying.
He was sweating out of his ears. You know? It's crazy.
Yeah, so I said it to say, like, you know, if we look at a player like LeBron James, I feel like if you could,
LeBron James.
if you could build a basketball player, like, and you look at the attributes just like physically that somebody like LeBron James has. Pause.
What did I say? I didn't even
No,
hear
it's-
it.
No, it's just a look. It's just a look.
I was just remembering that meme. That video of the little kid just saying LeBron James over and over.
I'll just pause it.
I was so trying to ignore that.
it was starting to sound
You
wild.
get a little deep into it. Right?
No.
Yeah.
No, next to LeBron.
Don't mind me.
No, yeah, but you know they have those. I don't know. As a nerd, sometimes I watch videos on like the science of sports, and they analyze specific athletes and you know things like wingspan and how
Yeah.
tall they are, and just like
So he's like the ideal player.
yeah. I feel like if you could build a basketball player,
It would be
he
modeled
probably
after.
he probably checks like every mark and
Or a
like
lot more than some others.
Yeah, the combination of height and power that he has, you don't really see that many people have.
Yeah, because that dude's strong.
He's strong.
He can squat like a tank.
Listen, if I'm building a player, I'm building Antetokounmpo. Okay?
That's another thing though, because like
he was when he got drafted. How tall was he?
he was like 6'10".
6'9", 6'10".
Damn.
What is he now? He grew.
He's
like
grew
7'1".
He's diesel.
You're already tall. You gonna grow like that? I don't get it. Bro.
Yeah, you get money, everything grows, bro. You get a little more wealthy, you get a little less stressed out, you start standing taller.
So his posture.
I was wondering, what do you guys feel about natural abilities giving you an unfair advantage in sports?
Well, hard work beats talent. When talent
time.
don't work hard.
There's been short people in the NBA though. It's not like
This Spud Webb.
Spud Webb is
Spud
Nate
was shorter than
Robinson.
me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Isaiah Thomas almost won MVP like a few
Zay.
years ago. Like
Yeah.
he was like 5'8". Like
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I feel like it doesn't correlate.
Yeah,
height
because
does help.
No,
it helps.
It does.
Disproportionately,
Yeah,
yeah.
it does help,
Yeah.
but like if you like really work at it, you can be like AI's probably one of the greatest players ever. He was like 5'11". Come on.
yeah,
But would you say those players are in the minority?
Hell yeah, 100%.
I mean,
Yeah.
everybody
So-
who's good at anything is a minority.
people get discouraged. That's why they're like.
No, I mean like
I'm
in
not
general,
gonna
like
fucking make it.
tall versus
Oh,
the
I
short
see.
players.
I
Yeah.
see.
well, yeah, they're both on the ends of the spectrum,
And-
so
and
they're
they-
both
they
gonna
play
be
different
anomalies.
roles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if you shorten it down, then it's a bunch of like
You played guitar with
6'3"
small
to
fingers. It's so hard. I could do it, but it's so hard.
hard.
So all of that is kind of like the super long segue. Have any of you guys
Also
ever heard? have any of you guys ever heard of a
Epigenetics? No.
runner called Castor Semenya?
A runner?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So this doesn't usually get like big news and stuff because you know it's runners and you know it is what it is. They're not on the same platforms as the big three
Yeah.
sports. But Castor Semenya is a runner from South Africa, and she's a female runner. But naturally, she has abnormally higher levels of testosterone.
I heard
Oh,
about
this is the
Juana
one-
man over here that was beating.
I
everybody
say
in the
Joanna,
ass.
man.
Oh, so dude started to get hot because she was winning or something? Like, what happened?
No, so she's competing against other women,
Yeah.
and
Blowing him out of the water.
yes,
Smack.
it was reported that her higher level of testosterone it gives her like a
An
physical advantage that
That's
yeah,
what
I mean,
you know.
yeah, that's just
That's without
chemistry.
performance
But that's
enhancing
not
drugs.
Biology.
that's an ability that you can't really
But yeah,
kind of thing. That's
Yeah, and so there's been a lot of controversy recently, and
That's a
they're
big
thinking I guess the overseeing committee is looking to have her.
Can I actually see? I would like
You're gonna
the
try
picture.
to nerf her? What the
No,
hell are you
no,
gonna do?
I just want to see like the pictures
Yeah,
of
no,
all
yeah,
the
I
committee
wanted to look
members
it up.
because I always hear like these things where like
Eyes wide shut meetings.
to be honest like it's just like a boys club where they just like try to prevent people sometimes.
No, yeah, so
in different.
I
Well, you remember FIFA? That whole
They're
debacle.
like a whole nother
that
situation.
whole craziness.
I'm gonna pass around an image.
And it's probably gonna be like 60-year-old white men.
Yeah, easily.
Hey, it's Joanna, man. Yo, tell me you saw that movie.
Yeah.
Just when you see this.
Never seen it?
You never seen Joanna? Just look.
Just
don't
the
watch it
trailers.
now.
Just the trailers.
It's not worth it.
You just hyped it up.
Yeah, so I'm passing around an image right now. For the video version, I'll just
But
put it in the middle of the
now
screen.
I see
here.
why you said that.
I think it's an interesting topic because like no one is ever outlawed to play a sport. People are just not good enough. So now we're like they're too good. We've never had to do that before.
So now how do we even that out? Kind of thing?
Yeah,
Can't put
you
it
know.
with
really
men
can't, though.
because
No.
you get smoked, and then you put a woman, she's gonna smoke.
Well, you
them.
don't
So
know.
it's gotta take
You're
it,
assuming
right?
she might get smoked.
Well,
So
bro,
you want to
Well,
see
if
test
it's
runs?
running, I guess you could compare
No,
the
but-
numbers.
Well, yeah.
Also, for
I
context,
don't know, bro.
for context, she is a woman. Like this.
She can do whatever she wants. It's a matter of
No.
which sport she's registered under
Yeah.
Well, no, okay,
that's-
so
and whether or not they're allowing her to run.
I don't know the specific ones.
Men
I
lie,
think it's
women lie,
400
numbers
something,
don't.
Right? It could be 400.
400 meter dash?
I think so.
But like, what do you do at that point? What do you enhance everybody else to see?
Yeah, because if it was
But that's
because
cheating at that time, then.
Well, then the rules change.
actually
The rules change.
Okay.
Actually, no. So this is a great segue because let's take LeBron for instance. We were just talking about how he's the
Yes.
perfect fucking specimen. If they took LeBron's testosterone levels and then compared it to someone else's, they'd see an obvious difference in that. Are they gonna tell LeBron to stop playing?
Basketball is it's not just running. It's not just.
All right. Oh, so even all right. So what's the homie that won? Homie that won the Olympics then? Homie, Jamaican homie that won the Olympics.
Usain Bolt.
Usain. If they test his T levels and compare them to some other person's levels, they're probably gonna be a little more elevated because they got that.
We expect that.
But that's what I'm bringing up.
Those rules are rooted in
Yeah,
that
we
sport.
want that stuff.
So like the difference between the male running and female running in terms of rules, they can be different, and that's where it becomes like a boys' club and it becomes like politics and red tape because they're not meant to mesh. They were meant to be separated.
That's true. They weren't really developed.
Yeah,
at the
exactly.
same
It wasn't
time.
really thought out well, or it didn't age well in terms of the rules.
I'm like, people
but
don't ask these questions. Like, nah,
don't
I'm just gonna
want-
watch this game and not worry about it.
Should they have like a national arbitration just to revise every rule for like every sport? Because there's a lot of rules in
There's a lot.
NFL.
It affects too much
That
money, man.
don't
They're not gonna
make
Yeah, that's what I'm
sense.
saying. You gonna like say
that's what
I
my
want to
money-
change this rule, but then there's this guy who just owns the whole shit and he sees like 2 M's in his bank account just for today.
Just for breathing.
Yeah, just for
Money
today.
talks, man.
What's he going to do? Nah, I'm not changing the rules.
Why would I do that?
I want to talking about rules.
Like what was it when like basketball, like when it became like primarily white older men, and then like they saw Kareem or like somebody old.
Will.
Yeah.
They prevented
Yeah.
like the alley oop or the dunk for like a year. They took the dunk out.
That was the thing. That's crazy.
Yeah, they took it out for a year and then it's like, all right, we can't do that. They're like, oh shit, let's make money.
These guys are cheating.
And then they made the 3-point
guys eat
line.
seasoned chicken.
and, yeah, so like the rules changed. So it's just a matter of who's changing the rules.
Just the same way that they just that they changed the field goal rule. And they brought it back. Like they brought it back, I think, 15 yards, something to that extent.
Then they brought it up.
And
What was it before?
Before
Oh,
that,
okay.
they brought it back, and you do not know how many kickers lost their job
Oh,
because
man.
you got used to kicking it at like 30, 40 yards, and all of a sudden now it's almost 50. And it's just like, wow,
Yikes.
like how am I
Yeah,
supposed
that's
to
a
do this
different.
now?
Yeah.
And it was like Nick Folk, remember? Yeah,
Yeah, so I say all of that to say is that, you know, sports are essentially defined by the rules. However arbitrary they are, the success of the player is judged by how well they're adhering to those rules, right? So it's not LeBron's fault that he could take like longer steps than the average basketball player, or you know.
well, it is his fault when he's taking 7 steps and not just
Well, again, within the scope of the rules, right? Like if the ref allows that, that's
the ref
That's
saw it
a
happen and
different
was like,
story.
yeah.
damn, what happened?
Yeah,
Ball touch the ground? Nah, ball touch the ground.
so like the controversial move that the officials regarding that runner is that they're suggesting that she takes medication that lowers her T levels.
And
That's wild, yo. That's crazy.
To put them on par with the other runners.
That's crazy. They're nerfing her?
Yes.
They're nerfing a human. They straight up patching her for the games.
This is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is like when they did the Peacekeeper in Apex.
Oh yeah.
So how are they even
Peacekeeper.
gonna keep that regulation? Like, are
What's
they gonna
that?
be like constantly monitoring her like before every game? Like, but that's crazy.
Well, you see, I think
That's abuse, bro.
Like this could be detrimental to this person's health.
abuse.
That's
Yeah.
abuse,
Yeah,
man.
that's true.
Yeah, she's
She
weapon
could be
X.
a Hulk next week for all we know, and then like after that, she's going right back to what she was like.
yeah. And so, obviously, as I mentioned, sports are defined by the rules, and certain players sometimes find a way to circumvent those rules. We see evidence of that with things like the Tour de France and what the cyclists do with their blood doping.
It's a wild process.
Basically, they input blood that has more oxygen so that they can last longer.
Because they freeze it overnight.
Yeah.
And deflate gate.
Yeah, yeah. And so players are always looking for
Freeze blood overnight and deflate it.
It's a spectrum. It's a spectrum.
Yeah, so players are obviously naturally competitive, and they will always look for what will give them that
edge.
extra edge.
Yeah.
Sometimes that goes beyond the regular rules, but when it comes to natural stuff, like I guess you guys would agree, right? That
Of course.
if you were born with that, then you can't help it, and that shouldn't bar you from.
Like we're not gonna stop Yao Ming from playing because of the fact that he's taller than everybody else.
Yeah, we'll just find a way to guard him. I mean, you can't.
Physically possible.
Now we're allowing for 2-on-1 defense because Shaq is Shaq.
Fucking half court, you're like, you can't shoot from there anymore.
Hey, because it
Or
also
some shit. Like, he can't do that.
it also depends on viewership. Like those stipulations are insane.
Yeah.
But they'll get away with it because like no one's really watching running, and it's not as popular to the major sports.
Because it doesn't look as competitive.
Yeah, and
So they
exactly. You
won't-
gotta
like,
watch.
You know who's gonna win every time.
Now you're just looking at who's gonna come in second place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is
Really
really
messed
funny
up,
because
but-
it's unpredictable.
Yeah.
Once you lose that aspect.
Yeah, so-
it's not
Good
funny.
point. I didn't think of that.
Once
Good point.
it's scripted, it's just like.
Because then I was gonna ask, like,
It's basically wrestling.
Yeah,
because
Wrestling was still unpredictable.
Yeah, I guess
It was
so.
scripted, but we didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
True.
there's like I see it on the screen, but like there's like a topic in baseball. I don't know if it's still relevant. Like some of the players like dope because they know they have to
They know
compete.
other players dope.
Well, yeah, and they know what's in the system, and basically no one's gonna rat anybody out yet.
They had to do football too. They had a thing with people taking Adderall.
Yeah.
Like the whole fucking D line, O line, popping Adderall.
Wait, what does Adderall do for them? Just like
focus. You can process stuff faster, so if you're defensive line, you can respond faster to things.
Especially if you're the captain of the defense, you're taking Adderall. You're like, wait, no.
Yeah, you see everything.
No running.
it's like limitless. Like what?
Basically, yeah.
Pill.
Damn.
It's like in Mass Effect when you switch weapons and like the whole thing freezes, but you can still move around.
Because you cheat.
pause menu.
Yeah, basically.
Exactly.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
yeah. So
Don't bring that up, Jose, please.
Yeah, we're
still traumatized.
I'm so glad that they're redesigning it.
Yeah.
After people complain, Sonic
Yeah, I'm
the
definitely
Hedgehog
gonna
movie.
watch it because of
Bro, you
that.
see his eyes?
Yeah.
That beady. Like,
Why you looking at me like that?
It's uncomfortable to look at, man.
Well, he didn't have his gloves either. Like I was like, what?
Oh, he didn't?
No, he
Yeah,
doesn't have
Pumas?
any gloves. Like
Oh,
it's
shit.
yeah, it's bare. And I'm like, what? Like,
That's stupid.
how do you take
They
away
could have
his
gave him
gloves?
like racer gloves that like
Could have given anything.
have elastic, so it don't
one
fall
of
off or
those
something.
design team, they need to be assassinated.
I don't know. No calls to action, bro. We don't do that here.
You heard it here first.
We don't do that here.
Wait, my question is how
You
much
sound like Chris Brown, kid. Telling people to jump in front of buses.
how much input did Sega actually have on this movie? Because
I don't-
they're about to
I don't
ruin
know.
everything. They're about to pull a Nintendo when it came out to the Super Smash Brothers.
I saw their name.
I mean,
on the
Super Mario Brothers.
That movie was
That movie was so bad.
That movie, please.
Or Capcom when they released
Street Fighter.
There's a lot of movies out there. Just video games don't translate well to like the.
Yeah, like
Technology's
we had Mortal
not
Kombat
there yet.
movies.
You know what's crazy?
We
Mortal
have the
Kombat movies,
technology.
they're
We have
bad
the
in today's
we can rebuild
standards.
it.
But how many times did you see the Mortal Kombat movie?
I saw it a lot.
Like,
Just because
I
it's
feel like I saw it a
me.
good couple times.
Because it's me though.
And
bad though.
like it was bad. Like in
It was
today's
pretty
standards, it's bad. Maybe even their standards is like
Yeah,
back
but
then
a lot
was
of
bad.
old
But it
movies
was-
are
Even
bad.
Power Rangers with Ivan Ooze was bad, but I still watch it.
Yo, I,
Cause it's fire.
Yo, yeah.
Yeah.
Power Rangers is just
my,
like
my VHS. Like,
Yeah.
like it was. You really can't equate that to what's going on with that song. Like that was legitimately bad.
Like, they
they
showed
tried
it
too hard
The
though.
trailer itself was dope, especially when he jumped out.
Oh yeah,
It's just the design.
Yeah,
That's
like
fire.
him himself.
Yes,
like they're
Yeah.
doing
It's
too much.
him. Like was.
Yeah, they didn't stay true to like the character.
Exactly.
Like, you know.
I felt like
Well, people
Might have been
complain.
supposed to
People
dry.
complain when you're too close to the original concept, and they complain when you go too far away. From it.
Oh yeah, you
I
gotta
feel
find
like,
that
it's
sweet
not hard to
spot.
find that happy
Like the
medium,
movie
though.
was the same exact movie as the first one, but it just updated. Like you know what I mean?
it's really hard to find
Shit,
that
like,
happy
what the fuck
medium.
was
Yeah,
like?
especially when you go live action, you have to like try to visualize how does this thing look like.
Yeah, you
In
gotta-
real life.
They
If it
just
did
break-
exist,
They basically
yeah.
like found a hedgehog. Like
Yeah,
if we make it bigger, will he look the same?
yeah, like this thing that was like
This shit, like
yeah, this thing that used to be frames of a drawing, like when the artist created it to like something in real life.
they did a good job with Pikachu.
Yeah, I don't like the
Yeah,
way.
yeah. It grew on me. It grew on me.
Yeah, no,
Mr. Mind bothered me the most.
He's just freaky. He's a freaky
Yeah.
fucking
yeah,
character.
Charizard was kind of odd.
He was
too,
always
but-
freaky.
He's a freaky character. Like nothing to do with
Quick
it.
question.
Sure.
This is probably the weirdest question I'm gonna bring today, but
That's great.
what the hell is Knuckles?
He's an echidna.
What the hell is
Say
that?
it again?
Yeah,
Echidna.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's just like in the rat family, probably.
it's in the family.
It's another hedgehog.
It's like a mole or something. You know, one of those
Can we
joints.
get a picture of this?
Yo,
yeah.
Can you look up what it really looks like?
Yeah,
And how close does Knuckles?
Knuckles.
Like the fucking
He's
hedgehog,
he's
though,
the
to be
he's the
honest.
animal that has like a penis with 3 tips or something like that.
Whoa!
Yeah. Fun fact.
Oh, like
Fun fact.
Stark?
Yeah. Fun fact about echidnas.
It's definitely not red, but
Can I see nothing?
Oh look, I see you.
I can kind of see where they got the design
No,
for
no,
Knuckles.
yeah, when
at
you
the same
think about
time.
it, yeah,
Kind of see the design.
A little bit.
Yeah. See, like that's cool.
yeah.
Like I never cared though. Like
I was just trying to
why did
figure
they
out
choose that
what
animal of all?
Exactly. Like
I mean, shout out to echidnas or whatever, but
Yeah.
shout out to.
second one over there that they had to pick up this random ass animals.
maybe they were trying to pick something that wasn't used already. You know, like it's hard.
They found
Everything's been
one.
used. Everything's been used by now.
Yeah, that is definitely
That's one of a kind. 3 penises? Come on now.
We got anything else on that list?
Yeah, did anyone see the, speaking of, cartoons that were changed over to live action, did anyone see the Avatar movie?
No.
Not
Which
the
the-
blue one, the one by M. Night Shyamalan, Ding Dong?
Yeah,
Oh, nah.
I saw it.
I stayed away from it.
I wanted to watch it, but people
What's
told
his
me
name
to
again?
stay.
People are still bashing it till this
Yeah,
day.
a lot of people hated it, but I was like, oh, I like it. I mean, I caught on to Avatar like after it was a big thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
I might actually have a good time because it's the same. Like I know about Avatar the cartoon, but I never
Yeah.
really followed it.
Yeah.
So it might be cool for it to just be its own universe.
Yeah. Yeah, when I saw it, I was like, oh, this is a pretty cool movie.
Yeah, they're
The
actually
graphics weren't bad or anything like that.
they're remaking the live action for Netflix, and the movie I just mentioned was universally just like
Yeah, people didn't like it.
disliked.
Yeah, like the
And-
Dragon Ball movie.
Yeah. Oh yikes!
But I felt like they took too many
faces.
They took too many civil liberties to make that movie. That bothered me. They took way too many liberties.
The writer came out and he was like, I didn't even know what Dragon Ball was. He was
Yo,
like,
you see what I mean?
they told me to make it and I did, and I'm
That's
sorry.
messed up.
He came out like it's like years later. He was like, honestly, I'm sorry.
Like, he was on his
Exactly.
like, yeah, you're good.
I don't know. Anyway.
No, yeah, because with the Avatar movie, they literally had like the characters' names said the wrong way, and
Yeah.
Shyamalan said that he took
But
those
was
liberties
it-
because it's authentic to like Asian culture or something like that.
Yeah,
I see.
that's the
And-
thing. Is it actually pronounced incorrectly?
So
It probably is.
Like
Yeah.
It
the
probably
show, the
is.
show is like
yeah, maybe the
whitewashed or
show
something.
pronounced it incorrectly, and
okay.
because it came first, like
Yeah, so for
whatever,
example,
yeah.
the main character's name is Aang, right? And in the movie it was Ong.
Ong, yeah.
And
Makes sense.
while Ong might be
I can see
the
that.
right,
people were outraged
Pronunciation?
because of
Well,
that.
Nickelodeon doesn't have
That's
the
kinda-
best
that's
reputation
kinda-
for best dubs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of
True.
that's kind of ignorant of people, you know. It's
What's
just
that?
like oh, just because you heard it one way and you're like, that's not how you say it.
How about we find
Like,
out how
you
it
know.
got said though?
Yeah.
Like,
You can ask the creator.
That's what I'm saying. Like people just like jump the gun and they're like, oh no, that's not how you really say it. But do you actually know?
Yeah.
We also live in
most
like
people
rage
don't.
culture too. Like
Yeah,
people,
yeah, that's
people
true.
just have too much power now.
People are just so
People have too much power. Yeah.
They
Yes.
just go online and just type shit. Oh, I fucking hate this movie. I hate you. I hate everything.
Yeah, like, what do you guys think about that?
Take 2 seconds to
Because
do that.
I find myself like, you know, we're all consumers of media, and I don't think I've ever been angry enough at anything to go on social media and be like, hey man, you're trash, whatever work you just did, like, this is terrible. Y'all should all kill yourselves. Like,
it's terrible.
no.
I'm sorry. I think,
Damn, Benny, get out of here.
I think it was
What triggered that?
This is a cyberbully here.
And with the Drake and Future's album.
You wait for it.
Yeah.
If you pay to go see it.
Yeah, you pay to go see it. I don't know if it was a movie or not. I forgot exactly what I was.
Was it Sonic?
Nah, I give up on it.
No Man's Sky.
You already gave up.
I give up on it. It's just like when you're passionate about something, it's just
Yeah.
like, I don't know. You see like the writer take it or whatever the creator is and
Yeah.
just disrespect it. You know what I mean?
I see that, but like I can see like directing that energy, like let's say towards a friend and sharing that, but like going on the director's Twitter page and saying like, you got paid way too much money for that. That was triggity trash. I think I could make a better movie. Like,
Yeah,
No,
me.
they don't see that shit and they see that and then like they go off on like tangents sometimes like
Yeah.
you guys so hurtful. So I make sure they see it because I know he's gonna see it.
You make sure they see it.
He's not gonna respond to it maybe, but I know he woke up one day he saw that shit. And he's
Yeah.
like, maybe I am trash.
now do you use a burner account to unleash this?
I don't know. Hit
me back.
Yeah.
With my refund.
Like yeah. Avatar pictures like you like trash. I want you to see my picture.
Was it just movies, or have you done like bad Yelp reviews?
Yo, but that's the same thing as sports though, right? Because you guys start talking that trash to the organization and the team and shit.
Yeah,
when
how do
they're
you feel
doing-
about
when they're not
fans?
doing good?
Yeah.
Fans going off on like organizations. I feel like that's a little bit too much because
That Laker
What do you mean?
protest was pathetic.
The whole protest for the Lakers?
Pathetic.
but that's your fault. You paid for that. You paid to see something unpredictable. I can understand you going to a movie and you seeing something that was terrible. Somebody made that to be terrible. You went to a stadium. You did not know what was going to happen.
No way. It's because when they're on the way there, they're given the promise that like, yeah, your team's gonna do great. And they're like, yo, my guy didn't do the thing good enough, man.
You're guaranteed to win by buying a ticket.
That's bad. But like after a season or a couple seasons, like
Can you stop talking about the Knicks like that?
Or the Mets.
I knew that's what you were getting at.
I know it's an issue when you see on the promoting ticket or the bill they say who's the team playing, and you see like they feature the other team like heavy.
Oh,
They sell packages of look at this star, look at this
Like
star.
you're playing the Bucks and your brochure's green instead of it being blue and
Yeah,
orange.
come watch the Knicks because the Cavaliers are here.
Exactly like that.
see LeBron and shit. Like, no, come see the Knicks.
Yeah.
I don't go because
Like,
those tickets
I feel
be
like that's two
expensive.
different things. I feel like you really can't go off on an organization or like a person specifically because they didn't do what they were supposed to do. Like, what if they got injured?
What do you mean? I do. How I like? Let's take this back. Let me look personal.
All right.
Yeah, hot take Benny. Hot take Benny. New segment.
Me as a nurse, right? If I don't do my job correctly, you're not be mad at me.
Oh, of course.
You'd be like fucking dead.
Yeah, but you're a nurse. You're not.
I mean, the stakes are pretty high there.
Somebody's paying money. The state's pretty high on my heart, my emotions. Okay. You gotta try to-
Fair enough.
Very equivalent.
As a nurse, like, you expect me to do my job, right?
Yeah.
Like, people.
Yeah.
As a
Suppose.
doctor, I expect you to do your job too.
Okay. As a say you're a hematologist. Every time I go to a doctor and I need to get blood.
For context, what's a hematologist?
Someone who has to draw blood.
Phlebotomist.
Phlebotomist, whatever. So, anytime I have to get blood drawn,
Lawyered.
But I can see from your heart stick though.
can you see
I
it?
can see from here your heart stick.
Right? You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
You took
now
the
let's talk.
NCLEX. What do you expect?
Oh, I see.
It's still hard. Your heart stick, bro. I can
Right?
see from here.
So now they're harder to find. It takes them 5 times. I'm not gonna go on her Twitter page and be like, "Yo,
But people go on Yelp and do that though.
Yeah,
you
they
jammed
do.
me up pretty bad, yo. Like it's
It's
looking
your heart
rough."
stick though. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
And I tell if I tell you that before you even do it.
all right, still gotta try.
Exactly.
Good job.
So I know what's gonna happen. So I'm not gonna say
You
like,
know, that's a
"Yo."
big point. I feel retarded. I'm still mad.
Wait, but this is
I'm not gonna be like, damn, yo. Like I know this is a problem that I personally have, so I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yo, you're gonna stick me like 5 times, and I'm gonna be mad at you, even though you're gonna stick me 5 times. Even though I know you're gonna stick me 5 times.
Yeah.
I can't prepare for this.
Yeah.
So I'm
When
not
you
gonna
go see a movie, you don't go see a movie with the expectation that's gonna suck ever. If that was the case, you wouldn't go. You wouldn't spend.
That's what I'm saying. Like you could do that for them because they made it that way.
So if your team is trash, should you watch it?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna watch. I'm gonna watch.
That's a wild. That's the question, though.
Like so contradictory.
That's
I don't
the question.
understand the brain behind Benny right now. It's just like
Wait, you know what's crazy though? Because like this is the only thing that even if the team sucks, it's still gonna get renewed for next season.
Yeah, it's guaranteed.
Regardless of whether or not.
Nobody
you
gets
get
fired.
There have been Cleveland Browns. There was
They're
a
not
whole
like-
time-
Well,
They're
they're
not
not,
there.
they're not a team
They weren't
anymore.
part of the NFL.
It's not like they're like going to like Seattle or no. I mean, who's the new friend? Oh, Las Vegas. I mean, they're still staying there. They have like a whole staple of like fans and stuff like that. They're not
Now
moving
they're
them.
popping.
Yeah, because it's all up and downs in terms of like who's successful. Like
What about all these
everybody,
teams that got folded, like during?
you just got to wait.
Yeah, how we doing on time?
we're around like over an hour maybe.
Already?
An hour and 5 minutes.
Damn. So that was episode 20.
This is gonna be like 3 episodes.
No, yeah. So just quickly, I actually wanted to introduce another thing. Does anybody have an artist that you like that is no longer alive? And I'm talking about music in this case.
Alive.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big.
Johann Sebastian Bach.
You went far back.
Okay, you said alive. You said alive.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know who that is. I'm not gonna lie.
That's fine. You don't have to. You don't have to. That's fine.
Classical artist.
It's a classical.
Like,
Yeah.
actually, I do.
Yeah.
You don't have to know.
But yeah, does it could be recent or
Big Pun.
okay.
Damn,
Anyone else
bars.
have an artist that they would like to see
I got a couple.
or wish they were alive to see
I
them?
can rattle
today?
off a list.
Yeah. Give me 3.
David Bowie, Prince,
Bam.
Yeah,
Bam.
like
Prince.
when you said alive, you open up a lot
Mike
of
Jackson.
Michael
Well,
Jackson.
I thought you were strictly going hip hop, but I would definitely.
No, yeah, it doesn't have to be hip hop. He said Bach.
I severely miss Prince. I'm not even on front.
Yeah, Prince, man.
Severely.
And then my guitar's name is Violet.
Yeah, you know what sucks? Like I only heard Prince's music because of New Girl, like the show.
yeah.
And I like never heard Prince before, and I'm like, yo, this is actually pretty good. And then like
Prince is
he
was.
I don't think I've ever heard his music, so I guess I
Yeah.
need to.
Yeah,
No,
it's
if you
pretty
heard
good.
something, you'd be like, oh, I heard this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've heard it. He's probably
Usually does the high pitch.
Yeah, I probably just don't
Yeah.
know the name of the song.
doesn't
Yeah.
high pitch it either.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says dearly beloved.
That's an easy short list for me though.
Yeah. Okay, so
Prince, Bowie, Mac.
yeah, I say that just to transition into. Would you guys pay to see a concert of those artists that you guys
That
named
hologram shit.
as a hologram?
What the fuck?
Nah,
No.
nah.
I watched that
Because I feel like that's
Hold
the
on.
same exact thing about a
Because this
sporting
all
event.
it's all
You're going to
pre-recorded,
go
right?
for like kind of like an
You're gonna do it-
unscripted appearance, but in the same way it's scripted, but you're kind of going to see that person interact differently with the fans.
It's like watching a drive-in movie
yeah.
because you're still doing the same thing but with a crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I would or wouldn't. I'm not gonna say no because like if something was happening and I didn't have plans that weekend and like
It depends how much it is.
I might go.
If it was
It's
free.
still like going out and being
If it
around,
was
like,
in,
people
if
free.
it was
Oh,
if it was
definitely.
yeah
You
if it
won't
wasn't
get
expensive.
Like he said, you want to get that interaction. Like it won't be the same. Like it'll be scripted.
Yeah,
Nah,
I would
but you
pay
know-
like $100 for that. Like
With AI, they'll make them be like, "Yo, Jersey City, what's up?"
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yo, Jersey City.
Untitled notepad.
Enter city name here. You're like, oh shit.
Would you be weirded out and leave if he said that? just question.
I don't think that would be the button to push me off.
That's a Matrix. That's a
But that
Matrix
would-
shit.
I would probably
Oh, you'd
like
be like,
stay
maybe-
even longer
okay.
because of it. Like just
to
because
see
like,
what
it's
they say.
messing up, and I'm like, God, this
Like
is awesome.
imagine he put his hand out and the fan go to touch it, just go right there. Like I think that would kind of.
You see, and that would be cool. Like if somebody like goes up to touch them and then they're like, "Oh, you just went through me" or something like that.
Yeah,
Like it's
you're-
more interactive. Like
Yeah.
they bring like
I mean, you
people
know
on
it's
the
gonna
Well,
stage.
happen.
that's what I'm
That would
saying.
be-
Like, if the
that would be
technology
pretty
got
cool.
good enough that it was
Yeah.
like that, like,
Yeah,
do
I
you
would
think
do
it would be
something
worth
like
paying
Yeah.
for?
Yeah, it depends.
Just
how
to
much
put your
money,
hand
though.
through?
like
No,
like
just
the
like-
Prince experience kind of
Yeah,
thing. Like,
Yeah.
because like, all right, so
maybe.
Or like, do you think
I'm
that
not
the
paying
day
100 for this.
or do you
I don't know, man. I don't know.
or do you think that the dead should stay dead?
I think I think that things are gonna happen regardless. The fact that the fact that that's a conversation means that that's gonna happen and people are gonna go to it.
No, the fact that we profit off the dead is kind of weird. I find that weird at least.
I find it weird when like someone passes away and then some new shit comes out. That
from the same
like,
artist?
Yeah,
like Tupac for the past like 20 years?
No,
did you guys
Tupac's
know?
Still alive,
Did you know Tupac only made music for like a year?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
I just
I didn't
found that
know
out.
that.
Like he was like he got signed and he died like 6 months later.
Wow.
Like Biggie only has I think 2 actual albums.
And he did so much in that small amount of time.
Wow.
Life after death.
Yeah. He only has 2 albums.
That's wild. That makes their top 5 dead or alive conversation really hard because it's like they
Like,
didn't really
I had that
really
conversation
grow.
with a couple people at work, and it's like, do you really think Notorious B.I.G. would have the same amount of longevity as another
didn't-
artist?
I think he would because he was hilarious.
No.
Exactly. Like we wouldn't
It's
know.
so hard to tell you.
But
There's only a few rappers that did that, like Jay-Z transitioned completely. Like he was able to do the mumble rap. He was able to
do everything.
Yeah, exactly.
And was able to do everything.
Was Biggie that versatile?
Like, was he?
We don't know.
It's really hard to like
we
tell
don't-
that.
we don't have-
Mind you,
I don't have enough content to know.
2 albums. That was it.
We don't have enough
What was he, like,
context.
23 when he was killed or something?
26, I think.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
He didn't make it to 27. The 27 club. Avoid it at all costs, guys. You're all around the same age.
I got a couple weeks.
Stay away.
We're on my way home. How mad is that?
Yeah, you're gonna be 27 this month. So am I.
Yeah.
And then your birthday's this month too.
Yeah, but no, I'm
28.
28.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you already passed 27. So it's like
I didn't though.
Not yet.
Yeah, we right there.
I gotta drive extra slow.
is that guy?
Nah, it's gonna be a stingray to kill me.
What?
You're gonna be
Like Steve Irwin.
At least it was doing something you love.
How was he in the
that,
water?
that one excursion he goes on? What's something
I
he
went
loves?
spelunking, and this is what happens.
When I went to Houston, we went to the aquarium, right? And there was I think we could pet stingrays and shit.
Yeah.
I looked at that stingray with such disdain, like I wanted to kill him, bro. Like,
Yeah.
Why'd you go to the
So much anger in your heart, man.
Yeah.
What's going on,
my
man?
childhood. What do you mean? Like,
I'll be that other guy and say that Steve Irwin just went around harassing animals his whole freaking life.
That's true. Yeah.
Like he wasn't like he didn't really have business there.
Yeah.
There's no reason for him to have been there in the first
Did
place.
you have to sit on that crocodile's back? Like,
like at the same time,
I'm not saying like I respected him as a kid, but like in retrospect, it's like it was kind of weird.
Yeah.
like at the same time, we're sitting here watching him stick
You
his
don't
head
believe
out
in the
of
man-beast
alligator's
relationship?
head
It's
like
kinda
this, and it was a stingray that took him out.
of all things,
Of all
right?
things, yeah. Like I was expecting him to just go out headless, like crocodile just take his whole head off, and it just happened to be a stingray. Like,
Yeah.
That's true. Like looking at it from the other point of view, because like remember when prank shows was like a huge thing, and it's just like you're
Yeah.
pranking like random people, and it's just like
Or just
you're kinda
jackass. Like, how are
harassing-
they
yeah.
still alive?
Well, they do it
Well,
to
they don't do
themselves.
Jackass now.
So like,
Oh, yeah.
they're
Should
a
be
group of
stated.
people. They do pranks to themselves, so they already have like this sort of contract. But like
Yeah,
when
it's
you're
like
doing
in a
like prank
vacuum.
shows with like random people or like
Yeah,
these
I don't
YouTube
think-
videos,
yeah.
I'm just like seriously, like you're just like
Yeah,
harassing.
man.
And then there's like guys that like slap girls' asses, and I'm like, dude, that's
No,
like sexual
yeah.
harassment. Like
Well,
you gotta
like,
fucking
you
relax.
get charged with that. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
they just can't-
they
I mean,
catch
even
the
if
hands
you
as
didn't,
well.
like you're just
It's
doing
kinda-
something
it's
without
violent.
somebody's consent. You know, it's like
Silly.
Yeah, because then
you
you
know.
have to ask them, can you sign this paper for video release?
Nah.
So what?
and even if they don't, you black out their face, and you still have like
Oh,
this
word.
content, and it's just like I don't know, like this. It's just I don't know. It's harassment. It's like if I went to like I asked her and just slapped them in the face for views. I mean,
Yeah. So what?
keep doing that.
Word.
let's not do that.
I was just like, no.
I'll put I asked her in a rear naked choke just for views.
Yeah, that's a good look. So why do you think that's gotten so popular?
It's because that's what catches attention, and attention equals dollars now.
It's
That's
it's
why
also,
the like system exists.
Clickbait.
It's also I feel like younger generations have more access to media now, so like you get more views because of that. Like you get this huge age range where you can potentially entertain people, and younger people like pranks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't see like a guy that's like 50 years old watching those videos.
Also, the
But-
regular tame stuff has been done already.
That's true.
So is there like a place for it, or do you think that?
Well, there's a place for it. It's
If there's money, there's a
existing.
place for it.
Yeah, there's a place for it. It's just a matter of like how long it'll last. It's a fad. If it's a fad, like how.
Yeah, it's like it's that
when I
whole
say there's a
line
place for it, it's more like, should that kind of stuff even exist?
Well, you're not in control of that.
Yeah, I mean,
if someone gives you money for that, and then you realize you can turn that into a business, like it's a wrap.
like
it's
I
a
feel
matter
like,
of how long you can keep that up.
I mean, pranks are so huge. Like you could do so much things with it. Like it could be as innocent.
Do you think there's a right way to do it though?
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're not harassing someone, then it's fine. I mean, there's like simple pranks that you can do. Like, just have you seen the ones where they're at a stoplight? And people just like they act like they're stepping over something. You're not doing anything wrong. Like you're not harassing anyone. That's like a funny prank.
But that's not a prank. That's a practical joke.
See, and
there's a difference.
Oh, you're right.
There's a
prank
difference.
is like targeted, right?
Yeah.
Like
I think if we just kind of followed something similar to the Constitution, where like as long as you're doing something that doesn't negatively affect someone, then you're fine.
Yeah.
But that's not the case when you just go up to somebody and you're like, N-word. It was a prank.
Yeah.
And it just goes to like the extent of like how curious you are as an individual. Like if you've seen the same thing twice, how long are you willing to see it again and again and again? So then you get people who do this extreme thing and be like, but it's new and you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah, this is kind of crazy about this country. Like when there's, like you guys mentioned, when there's like a market for something, it's like people rush in to fill that void, and they hear pranks are big, so then people start doing pranks. And
well, you can't lose sight. It's a capitalist nation.
Yeah. So on that note, this has been episode 22 of the Working Podcast. I want to thank all of you guys for showing up today.
Jiggy.
Yeah, the only reason really that I'm cutting this shorter is for editing time. But
a lot of content.
Edit this shit all day.
Yeah. But that as I'm pretty sure we could have been here another couple hours. But I just want to thank you guys for showing up to this episode. You guys are welcome back anytime. And divided, we are awesome. Together, we are more awesome.
Right. No.
Let him do his thing. Let's see where he's going with this. Taking it for a landing.
Lincoln Builders a model. We will see you guys in the next one.
Oh, wait. Also, real quick. No, never mind.
He could have cut it.